Yeah, give it a little bit of gas. You're good.
Well, I don't think I'd have done it like that, but I suppose it saved him a few hours. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of American Outdoors. Today I'm going to explain how to remove the bed on a GM square body truck. Whether you need access to, say, change the cap corners, you're going to pull the bed so that you can do prep for body work and paint, or you just want to scrap it. It's not hard. I'm going to be as short with my words and straightforward as possible. Now, some of you may say, well, why even make a video if it's that simple? Well, for those people that haven't done it before or it's been a long time, these things get old and rusty. I'm going to give you some tips and some advice to help save you some grief and some headaches so that you're not rounding off bolts, breaking your wiring harness, or damaging your fuel tank. So stick around, and here we go. The biggest difference between a long bed and a short bed, other than the length, is probably the weight. My best guesstimate is a short bed is going to weigh 300 pounds. A long bed maybe 400 pounds. Now, I've seen two guys lift the bed of a short bed off the truck, off the frame, one by each wheel well. 3 or 4 on a long bed is usually safe if you're in good health, you don't have a bad back. Most folks are going to opt for something like a cherry picker. I'm going to use fork blades on the end of my tractor to lift this off, and I'll show you how pretty soon. But they've all got 8 bolts in the bed, whether it's long or short. You may have a single tank, you may have dual tanks. Single tanks can be on the passenger side, or they can be on the driver's side. But other than that, these are really, from 73 to 87, are just about identical. Here is pretty much most, if not all, of the tools that you'll need to get the job done. Just depending on whether your truck is an early or late model, you'll need SAE or metric size sockets. But I'm using a 1/2-inch drive with a 3/4 inch socket, 3/8 drive with a short extension, and either a 13 or a half, and a 10 millimeter or a 3/8, and then a pry bar and a screwdriver. Sorry, there's 2 other tools worth mentioning: a cutoff wheel and heat. Now, yes, the impact rounded off 3 of the bolts. After that, I went straight to my breaker bar. I don't mind hand cranking if I save the bolts. But if you run into a situation where you have got to use something else, heat them up. Try and break them free. Of course, I soaked it with PB Blaster. But the cutoff wheel, if you do have to cut them off underneath at the nut, just above the nut, if possible, which I was able to do. Try not to do it up here if you're going to save the bed. A lot of people will cut a cross right through here, chisel out the head, break it up, and then they can pull it out. But you risk damaging the area around the bed, and you really don't want to be doing body work to the bed if you can avoid it. I've got 6 steps for removing the bed. And number 1 is to remove the tailgate, just so you're saving yourself some weight. Number 2, disconnect the fuel tank filler neck. Number 3, disconnect the ground strap, which is right there by the filler neck. Number 4, disconnect the axle vent tube. And number 5 is disconnect the wiring harness for your tail lights. It runs right along the bumper. I'm going to show you all this stuff here in just a minute. Number 6 is to remove the 8 carriage bolts holding the bed to the frame. don't normally use an impact on these carriage bolts for a couple of reasons. And one of them, well, it happened today. Out of the 8 bolts, 3 rounded off in the bed. Now, as you can see, the only thing holding these bolts stationary in the bed are these square collars right here. So if you run an impact on these and this is really tight or it's rusted, that's going to spin and it's going to hog out that sleeve that's inside your bed. Now, these are a set of 8 you can get locally or online, $50 maybe. But the second reason is that's an Alabama truck, so it's pretty rust free. But if you've got a truck that's from the north, you are going to get a shower of rust and debris using an impact on these bolts. The bed is loose. I've checked my list, checked it twice. I can lift it up. Now, I'm saving this bed. This is going to go on another truck eventually. So if it was just me, I'd drag it over to where I need to, and that'd be that. But again, 3 guys on this one, I think, could lift it. You don't need to take the bumper off if you don't want to. It really doesn't make things that much easier. Everything I've shown you is about all you need to do. Now, there's 2 ways that I lift this bed up. I have in the past used 2 4x4s and just ran them below each side of this corner lip. And then just go in with a cherry picker or with the fork blades. This time, I'm just going to use these ratchet straps, and I go from a corner up in the front. There are holes in the bottom. And in the back, I'm hooked up to the hinges for the tailgate. Anyway, I run 2 ratchet straps in an X pattern, front across to the back. You can get the 400 or 1,000-pound ratchet straps at Harbor Freight. I think the 1,000 pounds are less than $25. Anyway, I run them in an X, and then I come up and I will lift this up with the tractor, and I'm going to move them over to. Now, I use sawhorses or I use a stack of pallets. Either one. Today I'm going to use a stack of pallets. I think 6 high. I don't set these on the ground, and the reason is I don't want the bottoms of the quarter panels to fold under, which they can do. And so, like I said, unless you're just, this is for an old beater truck or a chicken coop bed, suspend it. Okay, about 2 hours, start to finish, and that's me working by myself, running the camera, directing, writing, producing, and all the special effects. So, I hope you enjoyed it, hope you found it informative. Questions, comments, complaints, your favorite episode of Everyone Loves Raymond, leave it all below. Thanks for watching American Outdoors, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye, folks.
Yeah, give it a little bit gas. You're good.